If I were in a real classroom, I'd be using the smartboard, but since I don't have that available, I'm just going to show everything on my computer. So today, class, we're going to do the lesson of understanding the planning process of writing a paper. And so I'd like you all to take out a piece of paper and write down these order of how you should plan a paper. First is the planning process, which is what we're going to focus on today. And pretty much you just outline everything you want to say, and I'll have a little activity with that. And then next is your draft. So you write down everything that you planned out, and you would then go through it, and then the next step is revise. So you would correct anything that's wrong or add anything you need to. And then next is edit, and then finally, when it's ready, you would publish it. So I came up with an example. Come on. With an example. In my example, I did rock music because that's what we're going to focus on today, is a genre of music. And so for some of the examples, I said that it is defined as music with a strong backbeat. So that's kind of how you dignify what is rock music. And then I came up with a nickname, which is rock and roll. And then it's also known as punk rock, hard rock, alternative rock, and many more. And then it is also really popular. It became popular in the 70s. And David Bowie was a popular rock artist in the 70s. And then Elvis is actually known as the king of rock. So yours will look like this, except I want you all to pick a different genre. We're going to go over some of the genres right now, and then you could either pick one of those or choose a different genre if you'd like. So the first genre that I'm going to play for you is country. So here's an example of some country music. This is called This Is It by Scotty McCreery. Usually country songs have to do with just farm life or romance or anything like that, and it's usually smoother with some guitar and some light drums. So it usually sounds something like this. So there's just a little example of country music. The next genre I have for you is hip hop. And here's a song called Break Your Heart by Tayo Cruz. So in the background, there's a lot of instruments that you wouldn't normally hear, a lot of synthesizers, and it also has a heavy backbeat. Usually it's really easy to dance to. So here's another example. It is actually a gospel choir. So the genre would be gospel. Usually it's very upbeat. It has to do with religion most of the time, and a lot of people get into it and clap and raise their hands. So there's a little example of that. And the final example I have is classical music. Classical music usually contains some lighter instruments like piano, and then some string instruments like violin and such. So this is Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, the first movement. This is one of the more popular songs. So there's that. And for the next part, I would like you each to pick a genre of music. You can choose one of those four. You can't choose rock, since I already gave you an example, but you can choose one of those four genres, or you could pick a different genre that you'd like. Just might be easier if you did one that we already went over. If anybody needs help after class, I'd be happy to come over and help get you started. But for now, let's just pick our topics and let's go over what needs to be done. So what needs to be done, I wrote a rubric, and I want you to pick two famous rock artists. I chose Elvis and David Bowie. And if you write about none of them, you'll only get 1 point. If you write about one, you'll get 2. And if you write about 2 or more, you'll get 3 points. And then another name for your genre, I said rock and roll, and then I gave punk rock, alternative rock, and all those. And so if you write about none, you'll get 1 point. And then if you write about 1 or more, you'll get 3 points. and then when it became popular, so classical music would have been further back, and rock music became popular in the 70s, pop music in the 80s and 90s. And so if you write about 9, you'll get 1 point. And then if you write about when it became popular, if you do it up to par, then you'll get 1 point or 3 points. And then what makes the music what it is. So if you write about no reasons, then you'll get 1 point. If you write about 1 reason, you'll get 2 points. And then if you write about 2 reasons, you'll get 3 points. And then you can pick a random fact or 2. And then so if you write none, you'll get 0 points. If you write 1, you'll get 1 point. And then if you write 2, you'll get 3 points. So I'd like you each to come back to class tomorrow with that done, and then we will start. You can just draw it on a piece of paper. You don't need to do it on the computer like I did, but you will need your parents to help you because you'll have to get on the computer to do this. And yeah, so just pick your genre, and I'll send the rubric home with everybody, and you'll have to come back to school with it done, and then we'll start actually writing our paper.